The best way to get to San Diego by car is via I-10 West and I-8 West, and will take about 18 hours and 19 minutes in light traffic.
We're back on the road. So my first stop for the day here is at the dealership, the Nissan dealership where I bought the Envy a little over a month and a half ago. At this point, I have a little bit of a problem here, guys. I am leaving town. I am driving to California. I'm heading west today. And I technically don't have license plates. I am driving around with Texas temporary tags on the back of the Envy here, and they're still good for about 2 weeks or so, but like I said, it's been over 6 weeks at this point, and I still don't have my license plates. I have called this dealership many different times, left messages, not heard back from them. I called them a couple of times already this week, and I want to figure out where the heck my license plates are. I think that's reasonable. I think 3 or 4 weeks is pretty average for, for a dealership to get your license plates to you and get the car registered and everything like that. And like I said, it's been substantially longer than that. So I'm gonna go in there right now and try to figure out what's going on, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. They're working on it. They're definitely trying to get it done. It's not really the dealership's fault. I guess I just kind of am freaking out a little bit at this point because I got to be on the road with the temporary tags. But I think it'll probably be okay, and they should have the South Dakota plates within the next week or so, they said. So they'll try to get them to me, and hopefully I'll be able to just get them in the mail somewhere along the road here, a UPS store or something like that, and it'll all work out. But it should be a little bit of an adventure here over the next couple of days. So I'm pretty sure I just cut it about as close as I've ever cut it before with the whole gas tank situation. To be fair, like, this is a new van. I never actually pushed it onto empty before, so I don't really know exactly how far I can go while it's on empty, but I definitely just pushed the empty light about 30 plus miles or so on I-10, and when I got to a quarter of a tank, I said, all right, it's time to start looking for gas. Let's try to find something. And then all of a sudden it was an eighth of a tank, and then the gas light was on, and then it was blinking at me and flashing at me, and it was a little bit stressful, I gotta say, but there are no gas stations here. I'm on I-10 West, I'm in West Texas, just cruising out, trying to get out of here, and there's nothing. There was nothing to be found for miles and miles and miles, and fortunately I did make it here, but I really do find it ironic because we are surrounded right now by oil wells. They're digging for oil everywhere. I can see a bunch of them from where I'm sitting right here, but there's no gas stations anywhere to be found. Managed to get stuck in El Paso rush hour traffic this morning. I definitely did not plan this very well, but I got really tired and had to pull over last night. I drove for well over 8 hours, maybe even close to 10 hours yesterday, and it was a really exhausting drive. It was straight uphill for the most part, and it was really windy as well, so I was constantly having to try to keep from swaying and stuff like that. I mean, we're talking 35, 40 mile an hour winds. You could barely even stand outside because there was so much sand getting in your eyes and stuff, so it was kind of nice to pull over and rest, and now I got to deal with this traffic, but it's not going to last too long, and then I'm going to make my way over to Las Cruces after that. I got to say, for me, it is very exciting getting to this part of Texas and seeing everything change. I mean, geologically, look at this place. It is absolutely beautiful, surrounded by these little mountains that are kind of like the foothills, I guess you could say, of the Rocky Mountains. It's sparked this feeling for me that I have finally made it west. I finally got here, and it's been over 2 years since I've been to the west coast of the U.S., so it's been kind of a cool morning being able to drive through this, and even though there's some traffic, it's absolutely beautiful to look at, and I guess it actually is a good thing because it gives me more time to admire it. So I've been driving again for most of the day today, and it's actually been kind of nice though. Arizona does not observe daylight savings time, so I just gained back a whole nother hour. It was like I pretty much wasn't even on the road for that hour, so I've gone through a couple of different time zones today. It's been working out pretty well. My plan is to find somewhere to camp south of Tucson tonight. There's a bunch of BLM land down there, a couple of places that I have in mind that I want to check out, so I'm gonna head down there and try to find a place to camp. I just ran into Walmart to pick up a few things to cook up for dinner tonight. It'll be my first meal meal, my first cooking experience inside the new van, so I'm looking forward to that. And I did need to get some work done first though, so I set the desk up here in the Walmart parking lot. This desk has been working out so well so far, guys. I absolutely love how big it is, how I can get photo editing done, video editing done. There's just tons of space to be able to do everything that I need to do. I have a video going out tomorrow morning, and I don't know what my service situation is going to be like once I get onto the BLM land. I'm guessing it's not going to be very good, so I don't want to take the chance. I want to make sure I have everything set, ready to go for tomorrow's video before I head out there. Made it. BLM land here, probably about 20 miles or so south of Tucson, Arizona, basically right in the middle of the desert. But there's a bunch of campers all around the area. Camping is definitely allowed, so should work out pretty well for the night. The trek in was a little bit of a drive down the dirt road, and then I actually kind of had to go off-roading a little bit to get to this spot right here, but I think it's going to be worth it because it's pretty secluded. There's not really anybody around, and it's a really nice spot to hang out. The Envy here is not quite the off-road vehicle that the Element was. I mean, the Element really wasn't much of an off-road vehicle either, but at least it had all-wheel drive. This is only front-wheel drive, and it will never be all-wheel drive. They do make a pretty nice, beefier tire. I think Yokohama makes it. That is pretty good for off-roading, though, in the Envy, and it's a little bit bigger than these little puny ones that came standard here, but once these go bad, I'm going to probably replace it with those. It's a pretty awesome view to enjoy while cooking up dinner here. I have decided to move on from my traditional Coleman stove that I was using, my propane stove, I guess you would say. I am now going to use only the Instant Pot in the Kodiak to try to cook. The Instant Pot has a saute mode, so I'll be able to saute things in there, and then I'll also be able to use it as a pressure cooker as well, or as a rice maker, which is what I'm using it for right now. My goal for dinner tonight is to make some rice, set that aside, and then I'm going to make a Korean style beef and see how it works out. But oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, there it goes. Apparently I'm pressure cooking the rice. I still haven't quite figured out how to use the Instant Pot yet. I've only used it a handful of times, but we'll see what happens here. The recipe is really simple. I'm just sauteing some ground beef with some celery and onions and carrots that I had left over, some diced onions there, and then I'm gonna pressure cook it with some Korean barbecue sauce that I have here, which is basically just a mixture of soy sauce and sesame oil, and then I'm gonna mix that with some beef broth that I have and kind of just pressure cook it for a couple of minutes and then serve it over rice. Kind of crazy to think that in about a week or so I'm going to be able to stand up here and actually use this fold-out counter and then the table here to cook instead of having to sit in the chair. Although this chair is actually really comfortable. It's working out really well. I'm able to turn and do this and that, so even on rainy days and stuff, I think I'm still going to be able to cook in here just fine. I am excited about having the pop top though, and that's a big reason why I'm on this road trip right now, and it's going to be done pretty soon. Finished product. It smells delicious. Let's see how it tastes. Pressure cookers are amazing. Maybe the best part about the Instant Pot is the cleanup process. I have this bowl here, the bowl that I ate from, and the spoon that I used to cook it all. Pretty incredible view to start the day. I'd say it's a fitting first backyard for my first adventure in the new van. There's a lot of cactuses out here, which I guess is to be expected. This is a giant desert after all. I don't really know a whole lot about cactuses or flora in general. I'm not too knowledgeable in that field of things, but there do seem to be a lot of different species out here, and they're all so interesting and like uniquely shaped and everything like that. And this one looks like a giant palm tree with spikes on it. cactuses are pretty neat. It's pretty rare that I find a campsite that I want to stay at for more than a couple of days at a time. This one here, though, would be a prime example of that kind of campsite. The cell service here is amazing. I would be able to get work done as much as I needed to, have ample sunshine for the solar panel, beautiful views, perfect weather. I mean, everything is absolutely perfect, but the problem is I have to be in San Diego tomorrow to meet my friend there, and then a couple of days after that, I have to be in Northern California to get the pop dock done. So I'll have to keep this place in mind for some point in the future, hopefully sooner rather than later. Plan for the rest of the day today is to make my way out of Arizona and towards San Diego, and that's where the next video will be. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to y'all in that one.